Before the video starts, I want to give a shout out to Evangelist, who me and him record something at the Toy Fair for the Unicron review, but unfortunately the footage is now lost. I can't get it. So I just want to give him a shout out at least and a thank you for recording something, but sadly I cannot use that footage. Apocalypse! I want rainbows and lollipops!
Too bad, Shazam! You're getting one, and it's directed by Bryan Singer!
Fix it!
I can't. It's too late. He's already on his way.
Oh gee, I wonder who's coming based on the title of the review. You mean that psychopathic plant-eating machine?
Voiced by the late Orson Welles!
Not Orson Welles!
I've been looking into our options. It seems like there's not much we can do.
Wait a minute, fuck that, I have an idea.
That's not good. That's never good.
Maybe if I review the Unicron figure that I just so conveniently have, maybe we can find a weakness.
That's stupid.
Shockwave, I know it sounds stupid and, dare I say, ridiculous, but sometimes you have to have a little bit of faith. Just like I have faith in this man right here. Our light, our Lord, our Savior.
That's a picture of Mel Gibson.
Yeah, duh. We're finally here! It's Unicron, baby! Yeah! Unicron first appeared in the 1986 cartoon film, in theaters, mind you, so imagine the biggest thing in the universe on the big screen, and all the kids pissed themselves in fear, while crying about the death of Optimus Prime. Also, this movie says shit! It's a kid's movie! Voiced by the late Orson Welles, his final role tore across galaxies, devouring planets and civilizations for his own need to continue. Since then, Unicron's presence has always hovered every iteration of Transformers. Even when he doesn't show himself, you always feel he's somewhere in the universe, breaking shit, breaking real fucking expensive shit. A hell come to fruition, Unicron is not something you want to see in the distance. Also, he's got a ball with a gun. Yeah, this is Dead End. Later re-releases refer to him as Kranix, while Japan's releases refer to him as dun 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 Bug. No! Not Bug! Tremble! I'm just gonna call him Dead End. No, he's not a Stunticon anymore. He's just a ball with a gun. Yeah. This is usually referred to as Unicron's moon, but actually in the show, these were drones, and there were many of them, more like the antibodies in Prime. You can add Dead End to the crater above Unicron's mouth, #good. There's a random rotation joint that's completely pointless unless it's meant to rotate like the top of a turret, but that's stupid. The gun moves up and down too. It's small and compact, but let's not take away the fact that it's a gun with a ball. Fuck! The transformation is amazingly complex, and by that I mean it's as simple as this thing. He's a very simple minicon, but he's not bad. Actually, with the gun arm and head, I'm starting to get a Shockwave vibe. Also, this is a first-generation minion. Articulation is very basic, so don't expect some kick-ass poses. The gun on the one hand is kind of cool, but the other hand torments me. Is there something that's supposed to go here? Why do you torment me? Just a basic minicon, but at least it's not minicon Nightbeat. Why is this even? This spherical vagina with teeth is the Chaos Bringer of all Transformers. Unicron transforms into a planet-eating cannibal with giant horns made to crush and secure victims with terrifying teeth to confirm your doom. There is no rest for the wicked. But I think he likes himself. Look, here, he put a ring on it. The massive ring that frames the figure can fit up to 24 minicons. That's insane! He doesn't need that many minicons. He can share with the rest of the class, unless he's peacocking! Unicron can also attach minicons to his side, deploying these missile launchers. Go slow enough and you can launch them one at a time. Go quick and it's one giant blast. Though I found you don't really need the minicons for this gimmick. Speaking of gimmicks, if you move the pinchers, the mouth on the front opens and closes in a munching function. The back shows off a massive amount of robot kibble, but it's compact and shows a very perfectly firm butt. He can't stand properly unless you want to lay him down, but you can lean him against a wall, or buy the stand 10 years ago. Nice colors, transparent plastic galore, and I'm not even cringing, a very awesome brute of a figure, but that's not all. Order now and you get a massive fucking robot. This thing! Look at this thing! This is the original Boogeyman. Careful, kids, this thing is hiding under your bed looking to scare the crap out of you for its own amusement. Let's just jump into it. Articulation includes a rotation at the head, and once unlocked, the head moves up and down, shoulders rotate and move out and in, upper arms rotate, elbow bends, hands rotate, the waist rotates, the legs move forward and back, out and in, but you have to move the pedals to get them out of the way. Bend at the knee, rotation below the knee for whatever reason, foot moves forward and back, heel moves, and the whole foot rotates side to side. But the best part of the articulation is the hands. Full rotation as mentioned, the thumb moves side to side, and each finger has 2 points of articulation separate from each other. The devil of Transformers can welcome you with a good bird. I'd show the articulation on this hand, but this finger broke and everything's rusted, so I'm just like, don't touch. Unicron has the biggest feet I've seen in a Transformers toy, yet he still manages to fall over. What kind of dark magic is this? The massive amount of kibble can be seen as an eyesore, but it doesn't feel out of place. Just wish the planet shells could tab in, however you can still sandwich them together. What purple? You get purple. What orange? You get orange. Want green? You get purple. With all this mass, you can find some sections with little bits of detail, though I wish more of the detail was picked out by the paint job. It's not overly lacking, it breaks itself enough, but that's just me nagging. Homie! Purple, red, and gunmetal are used to remind you that this figure was made more than 7 years ago. The Unicron I picked up is actually a re-release of the Armada toy that came out for the Universe Classics toy line. Open up the crotch, which I swear there's a legit reason for doing this, and open up the abdomen to reveal bonus storage for a minicon. Open up the front of the legs to store more, and above, you can find 2 additional bonus minicon plugs on the shoulders, which can rotate because gimmicks! Speaking of the legs, you can rotate large portions, plug on the minicon, push it forward, and launch out the missiles! You can do this without the minicon, but it's more fun with it. However, the highlight of the minicon gimmick comes into play with Unicron's chest. Attach the minicon to his back and watch the magic happen as the chest of the beast opens wide to reveal a giant missile with 3 sides that prong out as his eyes blink in the joy of killing innocents. You'll find no heart. Only destruction! Unicron's blinking eyes automatically trigger during the process, but you can activate it by the press of the button on the top of the head. Ever wanted to see the eyes of Satan? Well, now you can watch him blink. Ooh! If that's not enough, he can punch you with the killing blow and then celebrate with a rave. Just press the fist and be hypnotized by the dazzling lights. This figure is a long time coming. 1986 was the year of his debut. Few prototypes and a series titled Armada later, and we finally got our big boss. Armada had so many disappointing figures with lacking articulation, terrible robot modes, and Armada sideswipe. It's kind of shocking to see that Unicron doesn't take that in. That's probably due to the fact that this design has been around since Generation 1, and Armada reuses most of the design, meaning that they had 20 years to conjure up this toy. With that many years to process how to make a fun toy for kids and adults to enjoy, you can bet that this figure was going to be good, and it didn't fail. Even to this day, this design works, and I know that because they recently re-released it! I always imagine what it would be like to get the Beast Wars Neo version, but I also also imagine that being way too overly complicated, kibbly, and while the design looks great, I think we would need something closer to this. As I said, fun for kids and adults, making it an impressive blend of everything that makes this toy perfect. Any gripes are basic nitpicks. This is an unstoppable force that will destroy us all, literally shit. Shockwave! What are we gonna do?
It's too late! The destroyer has come! The end is nigh! Prepare for oblivion!
Tell my wife she doesn't exist, also I cheated on her. Magnify. He's more powerful than I ever imagined, also he's handsome! I am Unicron, the great destroyer! Yeah!
Canadia Reviewer! You've got to fight him! The power is within you!
You seen this? I will destroy all your Taco Bells, yeah! How am I supposed to defeat a god?
Feel your inner strength carried out from generations of reviewers before you. You, and only you, can defeat this evil!
Wait a minute. I've got it! I finally understand now! You know, in the 1986 movie where Hot Rod defeated him using the Matrix of Leadership?
Yeah?
Well, I just so conveniently have a Hot Rod and a Matrix of Leadership, so I'm just gonna punch him. Ah! You fought me for the last... You've not seen me for the last time, yeah! I did it! Punching is the answer! Fuck you, words!
Congratulations! You saved us from Unicron and Sex and the City 3.
No, there is no stopping Sex and the City 3. There's only delaying the inevitable.
And on your 200th episode!
200, I think I deserve one small free coffee. Ah!
Nonetheless, you have saved us all! We owe you our thanks and appreciation! You are a hero to us all!
I'm just glad we don't have to deal with something terrible and everything will be good moving forward.
Speaking of moving on, now that that is done, we can finally review Cybertron Hightail!
He does a 200 episode special and doesn't invite me. Oh God, what am I not good enough for him? I mean, I peed in his pool once, but in my defense, I did it to piss him off. I would escape to Africa with this guy, and now I just want him to love me. Wait a second. These Kleenexes are making me thirsty. How shall I quench this? Oh, I know.
Hey, sorry about the background noise. I had to change up the audio quite a bit, so sometimes you're going to hear background noise, and don't judge! Trees. Water. And whatever this thing is. Out here, there's a balance to everything. I've journeyed to this forest for some time, far from civilization. It's calm, beautiful, and so fucking boring! There's nothing to do around here. I've been sitting here for hours without a Nintendo. I even gave these plants names, like Steve over here, and I'm not even sure if it's a guy.
Dude, come back! We need you to review Cybertron Hightail!
You don't understand. That thing is awful. If Unicron is the devil, then Hightail is his nightmare.
You're overreacting!
No, I'm underreacting. I'd rather stick my own blender in the hand.
Bruh, if you don't, who else will?
Literally anyone with a YouTube channel, camera, mic, the figure, and that's not counting the written ones.
Why do you hate Hightail so much?
No, I know what you're doing here. There's nothing you can say.
Pretty please!
No, not pretty please. Yeah, fine, but only in the terms of pretty please. This is Cybertron Scout Class Hightail. Cybertron Hightail is a repaint of Lugnuts. No, I said Lugnuts. I would tell you more, but I'm not finding a computer in nature. Don't get me wrong, the motorcycle is nice. All the robot kibble is designed, detailed, and welcomed into the alt mode. It makes for a solid little bike that, while paint apps are somewhat sparse, it breaks itself enough and makes for a nice little toy. The BCat 1 Ohio Cincinnati plate is a reference to the famous cat invasion of 1912 Ohio. The motorcycle's red color is vibrant, and while it's gappy in certain areas, I'm delighted at how well it comes together. Better than some other bike transformers. The gun storage adds a nice touch, the Cyberkey gimmick isn't bad, and the whole assembly of the gimmick doesn't affect the alt mode style. Also moving handlebars, and a nice touch with the tail and headlights. No kickstand, but the metal pin looks like a gas cap. So there's that. Not bad, but the robot mode. Okay, so the robot mode doesn't look bad. I would even like to see it as a G2 Laser Cycle Road Pig, Road Rocket, Soundwave, or Jazz! So there's no problem, right? Don't lie to yourself. Its play value is a bane. I recall buying this toy, getting excited opening it, transforming it for the first time, actually getting invested by the tricks of the transformation, and I was so disappointed. While I like the Cyberkey gimmick, he's so back heavy, which makes these heels a lifesaver. Ooh, girl! Despite that, try getting him in a decent pose that doesn't involve him leaning forward. Seriously, I fucking dare you! During transformation, when you attach the backpack, the head raises. Cool trick, right? No. Because there's 4 main issues. Number 1, I wish the head could raise itself a little bit more. You can try doing this manually, but you might end up breaking it. But that leads into my second issue. Number 2, as soon as you try to lift the head or, you know, play with it, the piece on the back either loosens or removes itself completely. Number 3, this adds to the second problem, but even if you touch the head, it will pop the back out. And number 4, I hate it! Looks like it's time for some accessories! The figure includes an Earth Planet key with the code on the back, and it unlocks the shoulder cannon, a nice little gimmick that reminds me of somebody else, Soundwave, and a large gun made from bike bits. Sadly, the shoulders are... The hinges that the kibble attaches to get in the way of out and in, and even the forward and back articulation. The lack of head movement is cringy. No rotation makes Homer something something. It's just not a fun toy. I bought this as a kid. It was my 5th Scout figure ever, and I remember the disappointment. I like the ideas, I like what they wanted to go for, however, it's unfortunate. But...
There's a but?
A nice butt. Firm! I can't say there's nothing I like. As said, I love its look, the motorcycle is great, the head molding looks nice, and I love the idea of it all.
Then why did you run away?
I wasn't happy with it when I got it, but looking at the figure now, it's not as bad as I remember. I wish it was better, but I can't say it's either completely great or garbage. It depends on what you're looking for. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta get home.
This review is underwhelming and unfunny.
sounds moaning.
Whoa! You look messed up. Who did this to you?
I fell into a door.
But you look like someone.
I said I fell into a door! What's that? My chimneys are rumbling. Could it be as fate is foretold? The legend returned once again? Yes, it must be! God damn it, since they made the Legends minibot, I just wanted a Brawn. That's all I want. I've been a good boy. I deserve it. And you insult me with this plagiarism. You know what? No! I'm not gonna sit here and take this sitting down, metaphorically, you stupid fuck. You know what I want, and... Ooh, is this the goosebumps? Cause I feel the goosebumps. Oh, and here's the card, and here's the front of the card. Who gives a shit? I mean, before I didn't believe in Santa. Now you could just call me the Santa Tickler, if you know what I'm saying, boyo. Cause I don't. Brawn transforms into a sexy Jeep-like truck, sporting a metallic green, silver, black, and a sprinkle of yellow. Oh, and there's a tiny Autobot logo. Yeah. Molding is great. Look at the bars, retire, and even the backlights molded into the knees and oodles and oodles. As perfect as Brawn is, he's not perfect. I will not be a coward. I will reveal his imperfections. What the fuck is this? This blotchy paint on the window cannot stand. I demand violence. Too much violence. Oh, and this. Did they just sneak in a bit of parts forming? I see through your disguise, Hasbro. But hey, at least you can take it off and it doesn't affect the look too much. And do my eyes deceive me? But can you fit a Cyberverse weapon on that? Peg doesn't fit in all the way, but yeah, it's possible. You know what else you can add? Humanity exists only to fail. Ravioli, ravioli, stop being a fagotone. But all is forgiven when you have Titans returns drivability function up the ass. Oh, and as a reminder, you have to push the head of the Titan Master forward to get it out of the way of the peg hole, otherwise you live in your mother's basement. Look at it, it's so snug, and if you hate Titan Master gimmicks, I politely ask you to shut the fuck up, eat your pudding, and sit your ass down. Oh wait, there's a robot? Yeah! Transformation is so damn simple but quick, no doubt. I even like that the arms have to rotate to show some nice vehicle detail, but also, if you're lucky, you can get them into a static pose right from vehicle mode. I don't care what you say, this is a representation of what it means to be handsome. I'd put a baby in it and I wouldn't mind. Yeah, the body looks a little long compared to the legs, but after getting it in hand, it's no real issue. Colors of the green, yellow, silver, and black continue with the additions of gray on the helmet, and a beautiful vibrant blue in the eyes. Too bad the paint's sloppy on the body, like the fuck, dude, I'll fucking hug you, you little shit. Articulation includes head rotation, but it's so hard to get thanks to the obnoxious panel. Instructions tell you to rotate the head, but it's not worth it. Ball joint in the shoulders, hinge joint in the shoulders, ball joint elbows, ball joint hips, and a hinge at the knee that feels a little weaker than I originally hoped. Oh, and did I forget to mention the rotation? Oh, and heel flippers. Yeah. Posing is not impossible. He looks great. However, while posing him, looking inside the arms, I noticed that there's two different tones of green plastic. Why it is so may never be explained, so settle down, comment section. Hey, remember that stupid parts forming crap? Well, you can attach it to the arm and it's not fooling anyone. Maybe this was intended to be a weapon and I'm not giving it the credit it deserves. It's actually a lot of fun, looks like either a gun or knuckles, and it adds to the alt mode rather than mech tech. But I mean, really, it's a good thing that you can add the weapon to the back. You can also plug it to the hand or on the side of the arm. Weapon aside, he's legend size, and in the end, that's what I wanted. I can't deny that he has issues. He's not a perfect toy. However, to me, he didn't need to be. I just wanted a Legends Brawn who can be basic as long as he looks great and works fine. He didn't fail, even if he does abuse. Never mind, he's fine. 5 out of 4 pickled Ricks! Big, meaty claws! Hey guys, what's up? It's your old pal, me, and today I'm eating some seafood because I don't know. So good! But what is... Oh no! I forgot the boner! You want the Decepticon? Why not Thermidor? For those people who don't watch the show, yes, Thermidor was seen in the Robots in Disguise TV series. He's only appeared in a few episodes that ranged during the Starscream era. He's a crustacean with a pirate voice, and that's all you need to know. Now for the toy! Thermidor transforms into a blue... Batmobile? Robin, get to the Bat Lobster! Robin, no! Thermidor is a repaint of Warrior Class Bisk, and yes, they do share very similar paint patterns, but with alternate colors. Red in the wheels instead of blue, black windows are the same, yellow on the front replacing the
red,
blue, and so on. Is it just me, or does Hasbro insist on painting their toys blue? Powerglide, paint it blue. Drift, paint it blue. Starscream, give us blue! I've got to say I love the coloring. Wheels have those funky spins, and the blasters can be mounted on the front. Now there is one big issue that luckily doesn't affect my Thermidor, but might affect yours. On some copies there's these tabs that don't seem to lock into place too well, and on my Bisk it's but Thermidor seems to be fine. For now. Did someone say lobster? No, okay. And here's Thermidor in robot mode, and just like Bisk, he takes inspiration from a blue lobster. Now, here's where the problem shows. You see, I opened up the package only to realize he has his gun and the figure itself, but where the fuck are my infinite breadsticks? I dig the orange on Bisk, but I absolutely love the blue on Thermidor. While the majority of the toy is the same, they did change out the head, and by the way, watch the antennas when transforming him into alt mode. Otherwise, there's cringe in my boot! I'm gonna stop comparing him to Bisk as I plan on reviewing him later. Just do me a favor and look into this device. There's no real issue. Just look at it, look carefully, and don't take your eyes off it. And if you haven't seen Men in Black, what the fuck is wrong with you? Ooh, but where the castle? Why does the head pop off this one? Is because I didn't eat my broccoli. I really like the painting on the head. It's nothing much, but the circles around the eyes make my testes tingle. Did I say that out loud? Also, he looks delicious. Also, I think I've seen this design on another movie. Wait, I know what it is. Treasure Planet. Anyway, ball joint on the head, antennas move, ball joints in the hips, rotation mid-leg, knee joint that's kinda shitty, and a foot hinge. Notice I skipped the arms entirely. I saved the best for last. blast, in, out, and rotation on the shoulders, ball joint, shoulder panel, inner arm rotation, and 2 different uses for elbow joints, forward and sideways, and a claw giving him so much fun playability. You could do so much with these big, meaty claws. Senpai, notice me! Notice me, senpai! What is my life? Yep, he's a lobster alright, with the tails and the shell backpack. The guns are basic and mirrored, but it works. Thermidor is a great repaint of an already great figure. If you already have Bisk, you're probably not thinking this guy is worth it. But I have both and I'm pretty happy. I would be happier if... breadsticks! You know, it's odd. I haven't had fish in a while. I actually completely forgot how much I love fish. There's no joke to this, I just...
Raphael, you shit!
Can someone please upgrade this Bludgeon wannabe? Since they revealed robots in disguise Blastwave, everyone thought, yeah, okay, wrong. We all knew it was a pre-paint of the former pretender Bludgeon, and after 2 waves, we finally got the proper figure, and to be totally honest with you, I think I preferred the Blastwave. Let's just get into the alt mode. Bludgeon is a remold of the previous Megatronus, and while there's plenty of changes, the shape and most of the leg parts retain. If I have to be honest, I think Megatronus works better. The shaping of him fits a futuristic tank, and Bludgeon doesn't mix the old and new mold as well as I hoped. Not that I have a problem with this. The back of the tank is just one giant fuck you. I mean, on Blastwave, the lower arms use green to help a consistent look. But this is just, hey, suddenly there's arms. Not a big issue for me, not a major eyesore, but they could have done something with this. But what do I know? I'm just a jobby ripoff. Actually, I'm kinda glad I got that comment. You can add the weapons to this. The sword can be added to the top to cover the very colorful head, and twin cannons that, if you take off, makes the tank look gay as fuck. You can rotate the turret and the barrels can move up and down. You can even add the weapons to the side sections, and never has a cowcatcher looked into the harsh reality that is my soul. That's not all, this tank can transform into a foolish samurai! And here's Bludgeon in the robot mode, taking an inspiration from ancient samurai things, probably. I'm not a scientist, I will admit. It's a wicked mode. One could say... good. I think someone got more than a facelift. I love the head sculpt. The skeletal shape and lines make Skeletor look like a faggot. Now I know what you're thinking. Is this toy biodegradable? What kind of fucking question is that? The purple eyes and chest is a nice look, and the back turret really helps the design. You can take this off and it can be a handheld weapon, which is an answer I would also accept on the test. He also has a magic sword. That's plain as fuck. It's clear that this mold was intended for Bludgeon, but I gotta say I prefer the toned down blue over the sporadic orange and red that overlaps the green. The red's not bad, but the orange looks like a gross cheese left out to dry, and he's got so much of it, it's distracting. One could even say foolish! Compared to Megatronus, they both have their differences, but I wish they did more with the legs. Hey, there's movement! Head rotates, ball joint and hinge shoulder, click ratchet in the shoulder armor, soft ratchet in the elbow, rotation mid-arm, waist rotates, ball joint hips, rotation below, and a knee joint. You can get him into some great poses, way better, I think, than the movie Bludgeon, which I gotta admit, Hasbro, keep this idea, it's sexy as fuck! It's possible Blastwave spoiled me. At least this looks like what they're trying to represent. I mean, Blastwave isn't even cartoon accurate, which is good because the cartoon version is fucking ugly. I think if you skipped on Blastwave, this one will do you good. I'm just not that into it. I don't hate it, I certainly don't consider it bad, but the orange paint just throws me off. It's a bad color, and there's so much of it. If it was treated as an accent color, maybe, but I'm just not into it as much as I hoped. I mean, the movie Bludgeon that I love has a huge amount of orange, but it felt more broken up. Other than that, he's not really doing anything wrong. I think you can get better out of your Bludgeon fetish, you filthy fuck! But I shouldn't really compare. I'm still happy, it's still a nice toy, and at least it's better than the Cyberverse Beast Hunters toy.
I'm not crying, you're crying!
What did the one Jew say to the other Jew? Hi! This intro doesn't even get a good joke. This shit sucks! Twinferno is a thing. It's just there. Twinferno is an Autobot based on the original Double Cross, now introduced in the toy line for robots in disguise, and it's there. That's probably the nicest thing I'm going to say about it. Twinferno transforms into the Kool-Aid Man, crushed by a truck, and then someone thought it'd be funny to add some dragon heads on it. Joking aside, it's a stealth bomber. Keyword: stealth. These dragon heads are stupid. But dude, it's a reference to Generation 1. First of all, that doesn't make it a good idea. Second, I understand it's a reference to Generation 1. But you know, that transformed into an actual fucking dragon, and this is, again, a stealth bomber. And third, did you take my apple crumble? Can someone tell me what kind of Metroid reject this is? You can try to hide the arms under the wings, but the kibble is garbage. I shouldn't be the one complaining about plain kibble. These gray blocks on the back are also not doing it for me. Oh, and excuse the change in background. If I kept it red, well, he would have vanished.
Where did he go?
It's funny, but the actual stealth bomber itself, excluding all that crap, isn't bad. It's got a nice shape to it, and I dig it. But I can't excuse the lazy transformation, and I don't throw the word lazy often. Just realized there's a face on the back of there. I wonder what he's thinking. Maybe it's something along the lines of, I wish I was good. You can add the flames to the heads or on the back, but these square pegs aren't great. At least they hold enough, but it's easy to pop off. You can also add weapons to the top, and I stopped caring. Let's transform it, if you want to call it transformation or stealth bomber. I'm sorry, the paint job is just so bad. The bright red is an eyesore, and there's plenty of it. The head matches the torso, and there's no separation in color. I actually assumed that there was no head articulation because I thought the head and body was connected. But there is head articulation, so false alarm. But it makes the figure look like a dollar store KO. I swapped it out for an actual KO, and you didn't even realize it. Why did I do this? Because I'm a sleazy whore. Yeah. Wings are cool. I really like the pattern inside, but I wish they were painted. As pointless as the dragon head arms is, I actually like the articulation and detail. Did somebody say articulation? Head rotates, ball joint shoulder, rotation mid-arm, elbow bends, ball joint in the hips, rotation below, and a knee joint with a slight sideways movement due to transformation. Also, the wings do a shimmy. The top and jaws of the dragon can also move. Just don't force them close. There's supposed to be a gap, and if you do, you could break it. Say what you will about the heads, I like the smooth look, even though it looks off from everything else. And you can't say it's not horny. Legs are terrible. They're absolutely bland, and thanks to the tab that's too thick and a branch of plastic numerous times during the transformation, I felt like I was going to break it. Oh, and the foot transformation. So complex and bullshit. What was the point of this? At least the joints are solid. Nothing's loose except for my love for its butt flap. Now, how many Transformers do you know have a belly button radar dish? Soundwave's gonna steal it. Now let's talk about these flames. Well, the tabs on the back are kinda shitty, and the sides of the flames are hollow. These are easily the coolest thing about the toy. Add it to any other Transformer thanks to the pegs on the side, and immediately your toy will look so fucking badass it cured any hatred for Prime Arachnid, but it doesn't help Beast Hunter Soundwave. You can add these underneath the jaws using the 5mm peg for a reason. Plug it using the square peg or add them to the legs because I'm Iron Man! Most of the toy is bland, lazy, and boring. At least Steeljaw and Sideswipe, who I don't even hate, have their perks and the problems are at least interesting. This is a bland, mixed bag. He's not the worst toy out there. I think kids are gonna get into it. Posing is fine, and the flames are a pussy magnet. This is something you can skip out on, though. I'm just happy my shirt's not on backwards. At least I don't think it is. Hold on. Damn it!
I am sneaking inside the house while exposition is said out loud.
Shockwave, where have you been? I haven't seen you in a long while, you dingle dang!
I went to the Transformers ride at Universal Studios.
And you didn't take little me?
No, because you taste funny.
You don't have a tongue, you liar!
You don't know what I have!
Damn it!
Just be happy that I got you this Evac toy.
Wow. Is this a gift of friendship? A physical object to show that there is a bond between us?
No, some guy sent this to you and I'm taking credit.
Shockwave, what happened to us? Was it Pompeii? I thought we could laugh at the horror and destruction.
It wasn't funny, it was a natural disaster.
I'm talking about the movie Pompeii.
I'm talking about the film as well.
I need a haircut. Did you know that Universal Studios has currently opened a ride featuring the Transformers? Sounds like fun, right? I wouldn't know. The ride features the character Evac, a knight of Cybertron who protected the Allspark until it got launched into space. In his defense, it was his first day on the job. Evac followed it to Earth only to discover that only a shard remained. Lucky for him, the Allspark shard reformatted him completely to become a stealth transport bot, and gave him a brand new alt mode, a rescan Spider-Man ride, so stealthy. It's his job to protect the shard, and it's your mission to sit inside him or something. No questions! Evac transforms into a, well, it looks like some sort of prototype Prius with 5 boosters on the back to piss off those eco-friendly bastards. There's an impressive amount of molded detail, though I'll admit I'm not sure if these are headlights or miniguns. The imagination wonders. The honeycomb pattern and stripes in metallic lime adds a slight flare, but it doesn't really flow. Can't argue with the yellow dots and the silver rims, though. Remember those clip weapons? No? Well, you can add them to the top, back, and underside using the arm clips to hang off the side of the car. Oh, speaking of the arms, I think Hasbro stopped planning the design of the transformation, forgot to put the arms somewhere, and decided to say, fuck it. They don't even tab into well, and they like to push against each other. Not a snug fit, 0 out of 10. The back wheels are pinned in, which is fine, but the front are clipped, which sadly adds friction. Oh, did I mention that the wheels are garbage? Little tip, if you move these down, It will allow you better roll. They decide to mold in seats referencing the actual ride, but I'm glad there's no roof on the actual ride version, as it seems only 4 tiny people can fit inside. So it's an eco-friendly clown car. Not bad, but some things could have changed. Let us begin the transformation.
Para mi gente, con una pasión tan fuerte.
I have a question. Why is this handsome fuck so damn hot? Okay, some of the proportions are a little off with the chest and shoulder wheels. Also, that face is ugly and looks bored as fuck. But that's not to say it's a bad figure. There's no handheld weapons, but he does have 5mm ports in his hands, and he does have some weapons attached to the arms. Oh, and these delicious hip guns. Work it, girl. You can remove the hip guns and place them into the hands, but it feels pointless. Make sure you put this back in the right way, otherwise... You can add clip weapons to the shoulders, arm guns, and the heels. What the fuck are these? The cape? Wings? Or the butterfly wings? What's going on here? What the fuck? I usually leave these against the toy, but open them up a little bit to allow more articulation. I guess they wanted the seats on this toy so much, they couldn't add it to the robot mode naturally. I guess this is canon to the ride. I mean, you're on him when his arms are out, which is like suggesting that you're on him during the robot mode or something. No sacrifice, nobody cares. It almost looks like the back is supposed to lock in using these tabs, but they don't line up. And don't force it, you might break it. The back of the head is completely yellow, which goes through the eyes. Transformers toys do this in development, but it's odd. It looks like it's painted plastic, but it looks like it should have been molded plastic, and who gives a shit? Let's jump into articulation! Heads on a ball joint shoulder, rotation below, 90-degree bend at the elbow, ball joint hips, tight rotation below, 90-degree bend in the knee, and a beautiful foot tilt. So tasty! The articulation is okay, but on mine, the knee couldn't bend. I had to shave down a bit of flash plastic, and when I did, it moved nicely, like... I don't know, Spider-Man, did that analogy work? We're moving on. The silver thing on the chest, what is this? Certificrem? Also, is it just me, but I think it could use either more or less silver. Don't get me wrong, the silver looks nice, but the random paint on the yummy thighs pop too much. It's just randomly placed on there, and the rest of the limbs don't have this. I just want consistent limbs! Is that too much to ask? I forgot, there's a stripe of silver going down the foot, and a stripe going down the leg. That's... weird. The entire body doesn't tap in as well as I'd want. It doesn't do a bad job, but if you mess with it, it could open up like a... Oreo. Look, I'm not the funniest fish on the farm. Are these boosters on his feet? What is this? Iron Man. Why do I keep trying? Yeah, Evac's pretty cool, but he better not impregnate my daughter. He's not anything mind-blowing, which is probably a good thing, seeing as how he's probably high in price and a lot of people are not going to be able to get him. I'm glad that I bought it. But I didn't buy it, I lied to you all! Actually, this was sent to me by a good friend, Super Z-Man85. Thank you so much, Zach, and in that thanks, I want you all to check out his channel and give him a sub. He don't bite, just stand behind the glass. Evac's a cool figure, he has his imperfections, but that doesn't make him terrible. It just makes him more like me. A douchebag.
Mr. Krabs looks like hentai.
Look, it's Zoidberg.
That's no Zoidberg!
What do you mean, slut?
Notice the eyes, the violent tendencies, the voice!
I recognize those eyes. Those violent tendencies. Those... voice.
Stabby, stabby,
gonna stab!
Oh, it's Roberto.
Yes, I have combined my power to that of the crustacean doctor. Thanks to the professor, now I'm no longer stabbing. But now I'll pinch you till your knees bleed, and your ear gets slightly aggravated.
Stop! I don't care!
Bisk first appeared in the 2015 Robots in Disguise TV series and was one of the first Decepticons to be previewed. He didn't do much for the show before getting captured, but he was released next season and returned only to be captured once more. But hey, that's more than what half the Decepticons get. I miss Transformers Prime, but hey, enough of that. Bring out the butter and let's bite into this. You're getting lobster puns. Bisk transforms into a red car that resembles a Viacon. Maybe this is the 2011 model and this is the 2015 model. I would say it looks like the Batmobile, but I did that in the Thermidor review, so let's move on. Bisk features a bright orange color, which too bright. Look, we get it. The 90s were cool. This car is radical. Totally tubular, and pretty smooth in its design. It's very low to the ground, giving a nice cruise look to it that's very powerful in its own. But what's not smashing is the tabs on the side. They don't seem to lock in, there's so much being pressed against the sides, and these tabs don't hold. Use nail polish, you fucker! Wheels are spinnable, and the paint job's got a good enough presence to not be boring. These guns, It's a good look, but it's nothing unique or favorable. It does its job, and that's fine. But just like Red Lobster, you didn't come here for the breadsticks, you came here for the lobster. Transform the sexy seafood! Wow, Bisk is really nasty hentai. Well, I shouldn't complain, at least I can cope with the end of Futurama. Goodbye, sweet prince. Nah, just kidding. Nobody cares. Let's get this out of the way. I already reviewed the repaint and compared the two. I'm not going to repeat myself too much. But I like the colors and I like the head on Thermidor more. But I can't express the joy this one's head design gives me. Even if he shits on the carpet, that face is so goofy, how can I get mad? The eyes and jaw use a flexible plastic. You can open and close the mouth slightly and give him so much expression with the eyes. The sad, the confused, the joke. While we're on the head, the ball joint neck was so tight that the plastic had to stress and snap in order for it to move. Be careful when moving the head. Did someone say, oh, take it? Antennas. Ball joint rotation in the neck, out and in shoulder, ball joint shoulder pad, rotation below, 90-degree elbow hinge, side to side claw joint, clamps, ball joint hips, rotation below, knee joint, and amazing foot movement. Look at the footwork! Guns are basic, but not bad. He doesn't really need it, so you can add it to any other figure, but there's no issue with plugging it to the claws and pew like crazy. You wanna get nuts? Let's get nuts! If I have to be honest, when I saw this for the first time previewed for the show before episode 1 was even released, I thought, wow, this looks terrible. Especially since the show's coming off of Prime. Megatron, a brooding leader, powerful and scary. Starscream, a slimy, deceptive Decepticon. Dreadwing, a proud warrior, all leading up to a lobster. But I'll admit, after a while, I'm still not sure how I feel about the cartoon Bisk, but the toy makes it work so well. Maybe it's because having the toy in hand, I can admire how everything fits together rather than just seeing a close-up of the face. So, in short, don't kink shame me. I'd still prefer Thermidor, but that doesn't make Bisk any worse. Bisk is a fantastic figure with recognizable traits that make him very unique and lovable. If you're tired of the same Autobot and Decepticon and you're looking for something new, I'd highly recommend getting Bisk, especially with sweet potatoes. If you haven't picked him up yet, all I have to say is everything's cool when you're a lobster. And if you decide to grab him, I hope you like him. I wouldn't want you to boil. Lobster pun! Hey, this figure was sent to me by Ultra Maximus on YouTube. Link is down in the description below.